This video is a continuation of the previous one. If you haven't watched it yet, you can find the link in the description. In the previous video, we discussed why manufacturers are obsessed with building the fastest cars in the world. And now, we're going to talk about why people want to buy these fastest cars. Let's get into it. People who buy these cars may never actually experience or need the full performance of 1,500 horsepower in their daily lives. They don't have the ability or the roads to drive at 400 or even 500 kilometers per hour around where they live. They might even have to ship their cars to the Autobahn just to feel higher speeds while driving. And yes, most of the time, these cars will simply sit beautifully parked in the garages of their luxury homes. So, once again, why? In reality, the reasons come down to two simple, fundamental things. First, they have enough money to buy them. Yup, money is the most important factor, because just liking something isn't enough, right? People who simply like these cars, like me, don't have enough money to own one. A bit sad, actually. Second, they love cars. Yep, there's no logical explanation for someone's passion. Collecting cars with their own unique value brings a certain kind of happiness to the owner. It's like how you love your wife. She might seem ordinary to others, but in your eyes, she's a blessing, right? Right? Again, yes, right? Okay, no need to answer. Let's move on. But with just these two reasons, there's not much we can logically discuss about why people want them. So, I've put together several reasons that might be logically acceptable as to why people are willing to spend such enormous amounts of money to buy a car. Let's discuss them. First, you need to understand one thing. The people buying these cars are ultra wealthy. They're not typical buyers who think about practicality or value for money in the usual sense. They're willing to spend huge amounts because what they get from these cars is often more valuable than the money they pay. Alright, let's go through it one by one. At this level, cars are no longer an expense, they're an asset class. Data has shown that certain rare cars appreciate in value more consistently than traditional investments. While most people invest in public stock markets, the ultra-rich have access to completely different playgrounds: cars, luxury watches, real estate, and more. Take the Ferrari LaFerrari as an example. Originally sold for around $1.4 million in 2013, by 2026, it's worth roughly $5 to $6.7 million. That's over a 350% increase. Compare that to gold. Yes, gold did rise significantly, from around $1,400 to $1,600 per troy ounce in 2013 to above $2,000 by 2024 to 2025. But that's only about a 40% increase. It just shows that investment levels are different depending on who you are. Another advantage? You don't always have to wait long. Cars like the Koenigsegg Jesko often sell for more on the secondary market than their original price. In early 2026, a Jesko Attack was listed for around $3.85 million, while its retail price started at $3 million. That's an $850,000 profit, just for holding the keys. And this is exactly why some manufacturers enforce contracts that prevent early resale, because flipping can hurt the car's exclusivity and long-term value. The hypercar market is heavily driven by the rise of ultra-high net worth individuals, UHNWI. The numbers say it all. The hypercar industry is projected to grow from $33.2 billion in 2025 to $41.9 billion in 2026. Demand massively exceeds supply. Brands like Bugatti and Pagani often have waiting lists stretching 2 to 3 years. Simple economics. When demand skyrockets and supply stays extremely limited, prices go up. Here's something unique about the hypercar world. You can't just walk in and buy the rarest models, even if you have the money. Loyalty systems exist. To buy limited editions like the Ferrari F80 or Bugatti Tourbillon, you usually need to already own several previous models. There was even a case in Abu Dhabi, December 2025, where a collector paid $11.4 million for a 2026 Formula One chassis from McLaren, a car that hadn't even been launched yet. But what they bought wasn't just the car. They bought access to McLaren's Technology Center, VIP hospitality at every Grand Prix, status as a partner of the team. At this level, it's not about the manufacturer being lucky to sell the car. It's the buyer who feels lucky to get access. And it goes even further. Many brands have private collector clubs filled with ultra-wealthy individuals from around the world. Owning the right car gives you entry into that circle. Events like Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance become more than just car shows. They're networking hubs. This is what people mean by networking cost. Deals, partnerships, and opportunities can happen there. Things far more valuable than the car itself. With emission regulations pushing the industry toward electrification, something interesting is happening. Demand for gasoline-powered hypercars is rising. Collectors know that the era of V12s and W16s is coming to an end. Buying one now feels like buying the last painting of a legendary artist. Even though electric hypercars are growing fast, combustion engine cars still hold the strongest resale value because of something EVs can't replicate: emotion, sound, mechanical drama. In the future, these high-speed machines might not just be cars anymore. They could become art pieces with no real price ceiling. And honestly, if you had the money, you probably wouldn't want to miss that opportunity either, right? But it's important to remember that not all supercars will increase in value. This usually only happens to certain limited edition cars that carry special significance, such as breaking world records, being early developments of specific technologies, or having historical value, like being driven or designed by important figures in the automotive world or other notable individuals. Most commonly, regular supercars produced in larger numbers actually experience significant depreciation compared to what many people expect. And this video is not financial advice. It's simply meant to explain why people want to buy the fastest cars in the world. If I got anything wrong or missed something, feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm always open to suggestions and feedback. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to subscribe, because there's a lot more coming, from technical deep dives to philosophical discussions about cars. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay fast, stay curious.